Hello, my name is Richard Innes. I'm the Staff Education Analyst with the Bluegrass Institute for Public Policy Solutions. And for the next few minutes, I'd like to talk to you about high-quality standards-based education systems. Now, all high-quality based standards systems begin with a set of standards. These are statements of the goals and outcomes that we want students to master when they're completed with the program. Now, it's important to note that real high-quality standards also include performance standards, which are written in measurable terms and tell us exactly how good a performance is good enough and how we're going to measure that performance. The next step in the process of a high-quality standards-based program is curriculum development. This process outlines in detail the instructional plan for each day in the classroom. Now, in the process of curriculum development, questions inevitably will arise about interpretation of the standards. And so it's absolutely essential for a feedback loop to be established between the curriculum developers and the standards developers so that those questions can be addressed. After all, if a problem comes up, it may not be a problem on the part of the curriculum developers. There may be a problem with the standards, and that problem can only be fixed by the standards development team. So I cannot emphasize this enough. Feedback is crucial to a high-quality, standards-based education program. And this was the major failing in Common Core. You see, after the standards were created, the Common Core developers folded their tents and went home. There was nobody left to answer questions raised by curriculum developers or any of the other participants in a high-quality, standards-based education system. Returning to our high-quality system discussion, the next step in the process of creating a high-quality education system is to actually do the classroom instruction with the curriculum developed by those curriculum developers. As teaching goes on, questions will inevitably arise. Some of those questions may need to be fed back to the curriculum development team, but some of the questions may need to be fed back to the standards developers. And so additional feedback loops for the teachers are also essential in a high-quality, standards-based education system. Of course, those feedback loops simply weren't available for the standards creation team because they folded their tents and went home. Now, after some classroom instruction has been completed and the questions have been answered by the development teams for the standards and curriculum, it's time to develop some state assessments to see if we really are reaching the measurable goals and outcomes that we defined back in the standards creation process. And once again, just as we found with the earlier steps in our high-quality education program, the state assessment developers will develop questions as well that may need to be answered by the standards creation people, the curriculum development people, or maybe even by classroom teachers. So once again, feedback loops are essential. The assessment people need to be talking to the standards creation team, the curriculum developers, and the classroom teachers as well. Of course, there was no feedback available from the standards creation team, so test creators really have no idea how good a performance is good enough to meet the standards. So now you understand the major failing in the Common Core state standards process. Very simply, the people who created the Common Core did not understand their responsibilities to maintain an expert team to service the standards. In a real high-quality, standards-based education system, the system is constantly growing. Thanks to good feedback loops between all the various participants in the process, there is a constant improvement program underway. Sadly, with Common Core, such constant improvement is impossible. In fact, really, there's no improvement possible because there is no standards creation team left in place in Washington, D.C. to service the standards and to make improvements that are necessary. And as a result, the Common Core state standards are starting to dissolve before our eyes as states once again go their separate ways in making modifications or outright removal of the Common Core state standards.